Hey everybody, welcome back to the channel. Thank you once again for joining me for tea time. Today we have a little bit of fireside, and that is it. That smokiness of the lap sung, I absolutely love it. It is so good, so good. I'm so glad you guys are joining me for maybe your cup of tea or a cup of me. Whatever it is, I thank you for being here. Today is going to be an interesting day. We're going to do a quick review. I talked about doing this review about a month ago, and it's just been a whirlwind of stuff going on ever since the close of December. So I'm getting to it now. And what it is the Falcon Eyes F7 RGB mini light. Now, I absolutely love these type of lights. This is what the box looks like. Yeah, maybe I'll bring it in kind of close. That looks pretty decent. And then the back looks like that with all the specs and whatnot. So they sent me this light to check out. I'm going to give you an unbiased review of it. I do like these. I always have at least a couple of these in my kit. Different brands. This brand is a new brand to me. I haven't used it, but for the little bit that I played with it a couple of weeks ago, it was pretty decent. So I want to show it to you guys, and if it's something that you're interested in, you can go and pick it up. We'll put a link in the description or in the comment area, all right? So you can go and check that out. Now, before I get into the actual review, I want to say that if you haven't downloaded my ebook as of yet, go over to JCristina.com/ebook. Once again, JCristina.com/ebook. 10 tips at making tack sharp images. There's something there for everyone. Doesn't matter if you're an amateur, a pro-am, or a professional, you're gonna learn something. And it's at a really low price right now. It is free. So go pick it up. Once again, JCristina.com/ebook. Anyways, getting into this review. Now, to start out with, you have the bag that it comes in, or that you can store it in, which is always great. And it does have a cold shoe mount with a little ball at the end, little ball and head joint here where you can kind of get it directed exactly where you want to, which is kind of cool. I do like it, and it is metal. It's not plastic, which I do like, and I do appreciate that. You have some instructions, which isn't really that much. There's not really too much to be learned from it. It's pretty basic, let's just say. There's not a lot to it. And the unit itself comes with 2 modifiers, which I do like a lot. This one is your like little softbox, let's call it. This is more directional. This is a honeycomb or a grid. This is my favorite. It doesn't matter how big the light is. I always have these somewhere around. It allows you to be able to really direct the light where you need it and lose all of that spill. So if you don't want spill behind you and you're shooting it at your talent, this grid will definitely get it to the talent and no spill off. So these things are absolutely awesome. And then of course the unit itself, and that looks just like this. Let me see, there we go, we're in there. It's not focusing on my eyes right now. My eyes are out of the frame. Down at the bottom, you'll have your quarter 20, which we will use in just a minute. On the side, you have your controls. You have your on-off and a couple of your toggles. These feel really nice, all right? You toggle up, toggle down, and you can push them in, which is kind of cool. On the other side, you don't have anything. And then finally, on the top of the unit, you'll have your little LCD panel where you can see what all of your settings are currently set at. Now, we're not going to use all of this, and the reason being is that we can use our iPhone or our smartphone, could be a Samsung, to control this. And that is one of the things that I really like about it. Now, I'm going to go through a couple of the specs because a lot of people want to know specs. So it does have 24 LEDs in it. It has a runtime of, it says 100 minutes. I did some testing on it. It will do right around an hour and a half in bicolor mode. So let's say your Kelvin from 2500 all the way up to 9000. And it will go a little bit further, let's say close to 2 hours if you're going to use RGB. And those are numbers based on full power. So that's really good. It's going to last you a while. Now, HSI will take you from a hue of 0 up to 360, saturation from 0% all the way up to 100, and intensity from 0 to 100 also. So that's really nice. You can get it really dialed into the way you want it. Also, the battery is internal. You can't take it out, but it is easily charged using a USB-A to USB-C adapter. They give you that cable. It's very easy. Just plug it into any of your current outlets that you have for USB, and that's basically it. It charges up in no time, really quite quickly. Now, the CRI is what a lot of people ask about when it comes to these type of units, and it makes sense that you do because you want to know what that color rendering index is, or the accuracy. And this unit will have a CRI of 96. And if you don't know, is that good, bad, or indifferent, from 80 to 90 CRI is a good rating as far as color rendering. Now, once you get above 90, it's considered great. Now, this is 96, so it's going to be pretty damn accurate when it comes to the color. And that is something that is really good for me. I like to be able to dial things in, especially if you have multiple lights going on, and accuracy is very, very important. So you don't have to fiddle with the color in post-production color grading, right? We don't like that. We want to get it right in camera. Also, the size. It's about 4 inches by 3 inches by about 3/4 of an inch. That translates into 100 by 71 by 18 millimeters for everyone overseas. The weight is 132 grams, so it's really lightweight, and it does have this magnetic capability to it. So the entire back side of it is magnetic. And these magnetics are just crazy, crazy. I mean, really strong. I took this and I put it up to the metal door that leads into our studio, and I swear it was about an inch away and it just snapped to the door. I'm like, oh my God, did it break? I mean, these magnets are crazy. So you can stick it underneath a car. You can stick it on a set anywhere that there's metal, which is really good. You can hang it from a boom just to get some light over your subject, let's say. This is very cool. And that Q20 will get you the rest of the way. You can put that anywhere. Matter of fact, let me bring a stand in here. And I think what I'm going to do is I will stick this into the Q20. But let's throw on this diffuser real quick, and then we'll get into it so that it's not blinding me or blinding you guys. So that's it. It just snaps on. It's made out of silicone, which is kind of cool. And then I'm just going to grab this and screw it into the bottom of it so that we can mount it to this stand. Now, what's interesting is on the side, there's a red button. That turns the unit on. But once you turn it on, now you don't have to use it anymore, all right? Now it's on, it's sitting at about 10% power, which is kind of bright. You can see how bright that is, right? That's 10%. You don't have to use this, like I said, anymore. Now you do have at the top of it, let me flip that around, there you go. You can see what the setting is. I think it's about 5,600 Kelvin right now and 10%. But like I said, we don't have to look at this anymore. I'll stick this on here and pull it into the frame. There we go. We can see it? I think so. Perfect. Now, what is really cool, like I said, is we can now dial it in with our phone. And that's one of the things that I found really great about this, because if you have this, let's say, stuck on a wall somewhere, and you want to change the light or the intensity of it, instead of going to it and then fiddling around with the side of it, you can just go onto your phone and do it. Now that is really, really quite nice, to me at least. Now, as you can see, I've already paired this. Now, if I click on it, I have complete control over this unit. So I can dial this all the way back to 0%, and you can see the light is currently off. And if I move it up to, let's say, 20%, all right, we have this light that has this orange color to it. Now, what's really neat is I can just circle around this little RGB area here and pick any color that I want. So I can take it from the far side and then move slowly all the way around this color dial. And you can see that the colors are continuously changing. Now, remember, this is currently at 19% power, and we're at blue, let's say. Now, watch what happens when I put it on max. All right? So that right there is max power, and you can just see the light, that blue light shining on me. Now, this software gives you a lot of capabilities. We can come over here to CCT, and this is your Kelvin. I could just simply click 2800, the light turns to 2800. I can go from max, as you can see how very bright that is, that's at 2800, or I can go all the way back down to off, which is really cool. Once again, from the phone itself. This app is really quite good, and there's just about no delay. So let me move this up to about 50%. There we go. We can change this to 3200. Now watch the light. 4000, 5500, 6000, 7000. There's 7000. Now if we wanted to go above 7000, we could just use our slider and just slowly slide it up all the way up to 10,000, 9999. And we could do the same thing in the other direction and slide that all the way down, even lower than that 2800 number, and it'll take us all the way down to 2500 Kelvin. Now, normally I'm shooting in about 5200 to 5600, so let's go ahead and click 5500. And once again, we're sitting at 50%. I'm going to bring this down to about 15% so it's not blasting me in the side of the head. All right, now let's go ahead and move over to scenes. Now, a lot of people love this because there's pre-programmed scenes in this app or on this unit itself. So if I click on lightning, you can see what's going on here. If you take this and put it, let's say, behind a window while you're filming, it will actually have that appearance of lightning. Now, this scene can be altered in 10 different ways. We can move the setting all the way to maximum, and now you can see the lightning going really fast, or all the way to the minimum, and now we're going a little bit slower. That lightning is striking a little bit slower. Now, every one of these can be dialed in just like that. And of course, how bright this is, you can dial in. You can change it to candle, for example, and you'll see the light kind of dim in and out. And once again, I could make this extremely bright if I need to. You can see how bright that gets. I'm going to leave this down to maybe about 30–40%. We don't want it to be too bright. But we have also like camera flashes, just like if someone is taking pictures, a strobe. We also have like a screen, like an old screen TV where you get that flicker. That's kind of cool if you're doing like a horror. You have breathing where it has the light actually going in and out, in and out. You have a fire truck. Here's a police car, and it will do this flashing just like a police car. Now let's move this over to max. You can see how bright that gets. There's also a music area where we can play music or load music through iTunes or whatever, and the unit itself will flicker and flash based on my voice. It listens to me, or it listens to the music that's going on, and it will flash at the exact same rate that it hears the voice, which is kind of cool. I like that. It's something different. I have never seen that on any unit before. Now, if we come over to the next tab, it's called Picture, and I like this because it gives you a little eyedropper, and anywhere you point your phone, you can take that color and use it. So we see on the side of me, we have Cortana. If there is a specific area, like let's say one of these little light blue areas, if I click it, it will bring up that specific color and now show it on this light, RGB, which is really quite cool. So if I take my T and I point it at my T and I pick the color, and there you go. The exact same color as what it sees. Now, let me go ahead back into the 5500 Kelvin. There you go. So there's a lot of functionality when it comes to this unit. It's a tiny light, but it does a lot, right? So if I want to shut this off, like I said, if this was hanging on a wall someplace or above me and I don't want to go and try to track it down and click the on-off button, I can just simply click the button here on the app and it'll shut it off. So that is great. Now, a couple of things that I found while I was playing with this unit. Number one, I found that you can use the unit up to 70% of its maximum power if you have it plugged in through a USB-C connector. Now that's kind of cool, and I understand why they're doing that. They don't want you to overheat the thing at 100% indefinitely, right? So, but it does give you the flexibility to use it up to 70% power and have it plugged in, and you don't have to worry about the battery going dead. I like that. Coming full circle, My favorite so far when it comes to this and any other light is this specific light modifier. Using the honeycomb, I think, is just absolutely fantastic. And this honeycomb that they give you, once again, it's silicone, works great. I tested this thing out and it really stops that light spill off. So really nice. I like that they provide it with no extra cost. As far as the diffuser, when you do use this diffuser, all right, it gives a little bit softer light, but you're losing about maybe 25%, 20% of the full power because, of course, it is being diffused. But bear in mind, this unit is not going to be able to give you really soft light. Why is it? Because the light is small. The smaller the light is, the harsher the light is going to be when it hits the subject, okay? If you want this light to appear to be larger or fake it, you can point this, let's say, at a reflector or on a white card, let's say, and have that fall off onto the subject. But, and this is a big but, there's not enough power to be able to do that. In my personal opinion, I do not think this light is good as a key light. There's just not enough power to it. It's very small. And to me, LEDs are very harsh unless you reflect them off something or really soften them. All right. But what it's really good for is as a fill light or maybe a hair light or a rim light from behind really tight, or possibly just a color accent light. A lot of people like to add color accents just like you see behind me. Now, if you are doing, let's say, macro photography, well, when something is that close, you can definitely throw on a grid like this and use it as a key light, because at that point you can get it really tight and you can use something else as your fill. Or you can use this as a key onto, let's say, your little Lego figure and a little white card acting as a fill on the other side. So yes, you could use it for some small macro work, but for people, it's just not powerful enough. Now, I think that the unit itself is built extremely rugged. Okay, and that was one of the things when I first saw it, I'm like, I don't know if this thing is going to be that, let's say, rugged or tough. And I remember when I slammed it into that door, when I let it go, and the magnet was so strong, it just sucked itself to the door, literally about an inch away. It didn't hurt it at all. It's really quite strong, well made. I did have a few of these in the past that were kind of a little bit sketchy. But this definitely has some quality to it. The build and the thought process behind putting it together is definitely there. It's not something cheap that you would just find off of Amazon or on eBay and you get it and you're like, what is this? You know, it actually works the way they say it works. While the 1/4-20 at the bottom is really, really important to me, these magnets really add a new level to the unit itself, where you can literally stick it just about anywhere, anything that's metal. Even those like little clamps, you can clamp it onto something like this that's aluminum and then just take it and just stick it to it. Because these magnets are so strong. I would say keep this unit away from anything electronic like your phone or your hard drives or anything, because this magnet is really quite powerful. Or even your cards, right? Any kind of CF card or your small SD cards, you don't want this to get near it for sure. The price on this is $59. So in my personal opinion, is it worth the buy at $59? Well, I think yes. I would have a few of these in my kit. I would have them fully charged and I would take them with me. And if I need to do a little bit of fill lighting, I can take some pictures like this. I can throw some color onto the subject to kind of change things up a little bit. I see a lot of use when it comes to this, and having the ability to use the phone makes it a little bit easier too, because now you can be like the one man running gunner in comparison to having an assistant having to hold things. You can put this on a stand or stick it, tack it somewhere, and now dial in whatever you need with your phone. Stick your phone in your pocket and keep shooting. So this is really good for that, in my personal opinion. So would I recommend it for $59? I would say yes. Once again, it is not, in my personal opinion, great for a studio setting, because I don't think that it creates enough soft light to be able to use it that way. Now, can you figure out how to do it using a reflector and whatnot? Yes, but I think there's better options for that. But for something highly mobile and taking it with you, or working on small macro photography, or as small little accent lights, I think this is awesome, really awesome. And seeing that it lasts an hour and a half up to like 2 hours, that's a long period of time. And like I said before, if you want to connect it using that USB-C cable, you should be able to do that and not have to worry about the battery draining, which is kind of cool. Now, I do think that the Falcon Eyes people have a large studio type of setup, and maybe I'll write to them and see if we can get a test unit in here to replace some of the lights that we currently have. I would like to see what Falcon Eyes does in comparison to these. So maybe if they send over a set, we can do a 1-to-1 or A/B type of comparison between the lights. So we'll see if that's possible. Anyways, in short, the Falcon Eyes, this little mini, the F7 Mini, I do think is worth a buy at $59. There's not really much negative to be said about it, all right? It's pretty much all positive. I like the build. I like everything about it. The quality of light is awesome, and that it has that CRI of 96 means that the color rendering is pretty damn accurate too. So, that's really about it. I hope you guys got something out of this. And if you have, please throw this video a thumbs up. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel for more helpful hints, tips, tricks, commentary about photo, video, and tech. Also, click the little bell notification button right up here. So when I go live, or if there's a new video that comes out, you will be notified of it immediately. And when we're done talking here in the comment area below this video, head over to community.JCristina.com. Once again, community.JCristina.com. You can find a lot of brilliant people over there, hundreds and hundreds of people talking tech, video, photo, all day long, 24 hours a day, and it's free. Speaking about free, go get my ebook, 10 Tips at Making Tack Sharp Images. JCristina.com/ebook. JCristina.com/ebook. Go check it out. Also, if you haven't went over to my website as of yet, go check it out over at JCristina.com, where you can find all the photography tools that I've invented for you and me over the years, and hopefully there's something there that you might like. And if there is, please pick it up and support me and my family. That would be awesome. And since you made it to the end of this video, use promo code YT20 at checkout. Once again, YT20 at checkout, and you're going to get 20% off everything in your shopping cart. Not one thing, everything. So that's it, guys. I'm out of here for yet another vlog. Many blessings to you and your family. Stay safe and stay healthy.